So the Tower 2K is sponsored to you by Let's Talk. Now, if Miss Letter would please unblock my friend. Hey, we can go there. And let her do her job. Please follow my friend. Let's talk, y'all. This is the best.
And this video is for commentary and educational. Fair use 17 USC 107. All parties are innocent until proven guilty. Allegations remain alleged. No bullying or harassment is intended.
She had the nerve to say that they wanted me to be quiet because he wasn't going to step down because the money that they make from the church is all that they get. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord hath made. If y'all gonna let anybody, if y'all just gonna let all the gay men preach to you, I might as well become a preacher today too. Okay? Y'all.
Lord, have mercy.
If you're lying, and see, this is why I like having receipts, because when people get on live and say, didn't do this, I didn't do this, and you say, is this you? Is this you?
I don't want to be led by somebody that's not going to heaven. How are you going to try to lead me somewhere that you're not going to?
And now we're not just watching another church scandal, you guys. We are witnessing a shift in the way power is protected in the pulpit. Sundays were once scarce for Bishop Matthews. Now they're a day of receipt drop. Now, before we get started, I want you guys to like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications for this channel because we're going to be making sure we follow up with this Jroc story. Now, let's take it back to the day that Jroc praised his apostle before the switch up. Now, in the beginning, Jroc stood firm behind his apostle, defending the leadership and the direction of his church. But what happened when blind loyalty meets manipulation? Now, this segment unpacks the heartbreaks behind the misplaced trust. Let's get into it.
Our body is wrong. Okay, if I go take an apple, a whole bunch of good apples, but I put one rotten apple in the middle, it's gonna be a shit show going on in there. Okay, before you know it's gonna be a shit show. How can y'all, as a congregation, allow your minister, your leader, your bishop, and you know I can't express this word bishop enough. Y'all don't understand what it means to be a bishop in the church. I decided to do this. Everybody know I'm an influencer. I'm an entertainer. I do lives every single day. I go live with people like Shamar. I read people every single day. This is what I do. But today it was different. I mess with married men. For the people that be hitting me up, if you know Jroc, I tell any married man I don't even mess around with y'all like that. She had the nerve to say that they wanted me to be quiet because he wasn't going to step down because the money that they make from the church is all that they get. That's their livelihood. You heard what she said, that's their livelihood. Every time I think about the situation, I think about you, your husband. I don't know if allegedly your husband said, but the alleged part is you saying what you said. But the fact is he texted that girl and said that if I did what my wife wanted me to do, I would be in jail. The world that you got to Friendship Church yesterday, I did. To address the world from the pulpit of the church that I attend. We the people wanted to know. We the people really, really want to know what's the tea with this. What's really going on? Is it a Ponzi scheme? Is it about the money? Did he confess to you on the back end to the things and he wanted to repent? What's going on?
Yeah, everybody lost their mind today. Everybody. Everybody has lost their mind today. Everybody has lost their mind between yesterday.
What is wrong with the saints of God today? So grateful for the Bishop Fred Matthews being in our presence today. You want to say anything?
Usually Sunday night, I just go and kind of lay in the presence of the Lord on the altar and just thank God if souls were saved or whatever he did on that day. And Apostle Sam Franklin, we talked this week, and I want you to know publicly, I don't really have like private friends and different things like that. Either I'm with you or I'm not with you, you know. But I had hundreds, literally hundreds of preachers and friends and different people in my life just loving on me and different things like that. But when your apostle spoke to me and said, I'm praying for you, I'm praying for your family, I'm praying for your church. Now, I had heard all of that, but then it was a difference when she actually started praying.
Well, now that you're all corded up, let's go ahead and get into how Bishop Matthews allegedly got into the ear of the apostle. Things started shifting behind the scenes fast. Now we explore how Bishop Matthews may have used his influence, pressure, or guilt to silence the very platform Jroc once uplifted. Make sure you watch some of the previous videos where we dived into the King Jives moment, the Tasha K interview, as well as some of the deleted clips that was already up. Make sure you watch to the end where we offer advice to the bishop, the apostle, Jroc, and the pews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and watch the video through the entirety, for you will see on-screen questions for you, as well as a closing prayer. Let's talk.
And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you can record me or not. You trying to put me on the line?
No, I'm not even near that part. I'm still stuck on the prostitution, extortion, and the other part. But out of all of that, because I'm not gonna be I already did something disrespectful that I should never did. But I really got a real serious question, and I really want to ask this question. Why? This is just the biggest question at hand. Why? And I know you probably gonna have a whole story and a book behind it and the essay and all these different types of things. But I think the real simplest question is, why was it even allowed for this man to grace the pulpit and me be denied entry to church? There has to be some type of correlation on why I was denied entry because of this man. And it's already been told to me. So, I mean, it's not nothing different that could be said. I already got a call from your other leadership, and they basically told me without telling me what was going on. So can you not answer that question on why this man was allowed to come in and I wasn't, for safety reasons? When he got threats, he made threats, et cetera, et cetera.
He made threats to who?
To me, you didn't see the messages where he said if I did what my wife wanted me to do to him, I would be in jail?
You sent me that.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Yeah, and I said to you, Jroc, what do you think people are going to say if that had happened to you? Remember, we had that conversation. I got text after text after text after call after call, and I have not seen all your lives, right? That you were threatening, not threatening, because I don't want to use that word, but you were going to all these churches to start all this mess.
No.
Let me finish. Let me
Okay.
show you what I heard. Huh? What'd you say?
I said I'm gonna let you finish. I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah. I said that, and these ain't church people, because we blindsided. I know you have been on all these lives, you've been saying all this different stuff about me, all this different stuff. So the last text I got was, you went into something, you got into it with somebody, and they said it's okay. They put this on social media, but the text was sent to me. They said, whatever the guy is, whatever, it's okay. I know what church you're going to, and I'll be there.
Can I clarify something to you? Me and that person been going at it for 6 years now. We live together, everything. That should have been the least of our church's concerns, was Massa out of all people. Massa is walking around here right now.
I don't know that.
But you know what? As a 6-year member, and as you being in contact with me this entire time throughout this whole entire thing, or even having your leadership give out my number to them for them to call, somebody could have called and asked me. Nobody called me. Nobody asked me anything. I would have explained that down to y'all. That's something that is way off of this whole entire topic.
Listen, with that still okay, so what about all the other threats that you're making or that you're saying you're going to do, and you don't know who's from the other side that's after you?
So what threats did I make?
I'm going to the church. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
I'm going to the church. I never made a violent threat to anybody, and you can't find one threat.
I'm not talking about a violent threat. I'm not talking about a violent threat, Jroc. I'm talking about showing up at that man's church that all of this has started. Do you not think people are angry, whether they believe it or not?
So, am I not supposed to be angry that he attended my service?
Listen, you gotta listen so we can get to resolve that you asked me for and that I told you I would get. Did you not?
But you gotta think about it. I don't want to sit around with no man that's gonna continue to lie on my name. Like, you already confirmed. It's already been confirmed. Now let's run the story down real fast. And no, I'm not doing no filming, no live, none of that. You can go look it up. I'm not on nothing. I'm not doing any of that. This is just back to us two. So my question is, did everybody's now telling me that what I brought was not enough evidence? Did the man not go confirm to his wife, his leadership, that he was in contact with me? He came to the Airbnb, he parked his car in the garage, and he felt convicted and he left. Ain't that what he told his leadership and his wife?
I don't know about that. And I asked on everything. I don't know that.
So did he confess anything to you?
We had a conversation, and I told him I would have a conversation with you. And I wanted to talk to both of you all together. And that's what you asked me for. Did you not?
Okay, so can you set up the phone call? I just want to ask him, is he going to tell the truth or not?
How do you know he hasn't told the truth, whatever truth that is?
Because he hasn't told it where it needs to be told. That this came out publicly. Come publicly with your resolve. Once he come public and he give us a public resolve and a public statement, I'll leave him alone and anybody else connected to it alone. But until then, I'm going to ride out. We're going to ride out at dawn every day.
His bishop made a statement, though.
His bishop made a statement, and like every other person said, that statement did nobody justice. You basically called me a liar and said I didn't have enough evidence.
His bishop, that didn't say that, Jroc.
That's exactly what that statement said. Shall we read it out loud to each other? Listen, I'm far from done. I had a very high ASVAB score. I'm a very smart person.
Okay. But, Jroc, if he's under a bishop and they didn't sit him down, then why do you think he's going to be set down?
Oh, I'm telling you, the videos from the Airbnb are coming. The lady, I spoke to the lady yesterday afternoon about him. She's supposed to be emailing them to me. She had to get clearance together. But I guarantee you, he's going to get stepped down after this because the lie that he told to the leadership, and I know he said it to the leadership because I got a call about it. He went to them and told them that he came to the Airbnb. He felt convicted in the garage and he left. But he was in conversation with me is what he said. My thing is, if you were in conversation with me, all of the text messages add up. Why does the messages after you leave from the Airbnb are no longer sufficeable to anybody? Why is those messages being looked over? Why are we allowing this man to grace the pulpit at Jroc's church and Jroc is being turned away? So now I'm going to get drunk in pride. And before anybody, I do want to clarify one thing. None of this started with Jroc. This whole him being at the church thing did not start with me. I wasn't even watching the live, didn't watch the live at all. I was on live after leaving, and I got on live talking about how I was denied entry, and we talked about the Big Frida thing. And after that, somebody came to my live, and the whole entire live started talking about, oh, he was at your church today. Then we all went together. Everybody went and watched the live. So it wasn't just Jroc. And I didn't even allow any Sam Franklin bashing that night. No shade. But I still, I keep asking everybody at this church why this man was allowed to grace the pulpit and I was not allowed to even enter the building and stand outside and sweat bullets from back to front, crack to crack. No. If you don't believe me, I can send you the pictures. I was sweating bullets.
Jroc, I was there, and I told Brandon to bring you to me, and you said no.
Yeah, because my ride was already here at that point. I had been outside for over 20 minutes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not what I told you. He was not allowed you. I didn't know he was coming, and he would have told you that is a lie. He texted us at the last minute on his way to the building, and I texted our leadership. So that's a lie. It was not planned. But security was there for you because so many people were talking about who was after you and all of that. They started going back and forth at 4:30. Police cars back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I got a question then. So if the security was there for me, what was the purpose of having security if I wasn't even going to allow it to be in the building?
Security meaning that it was there because of the threats that were made.
Right. So it was threats made to Jroc. Why was security even set in place if Jroc was not going to be allowed to be in attendance?
So you wouldn't be in attendance. So you wouldn't come in the door, Jroc.
Oh, somebody could have just called me and told me y'all wasn't gonna let me in. I wouldn't have even showed up. No shade. I'm not dumb. I would.
You shouldn't have showed up because we had already talked about that. Right?
No, we didn't. You didn't give me a firm. Don't come to church on Sundays. Okay.
I did.
Well, we still. None of that matters.
I can come to church. It does, baby. You gotta go because we had that conversation even on Josh.
But when
and then on Thursday, you said I'm gonna let this guy down, Pastor. I said I think that will be best.
I don't recall saying that. But
I know you said it though.
The question at hand is, why was this bishop allowed to grace the pulpit? Why was he allowed, with all the safety precautions, allowed to attend the service? But the other party, I feel as if all parties should be held accountable. I feel like in the midst of this, there should have been a full investigation before anybody allowed this man to come into a church that he's never attended a day in his life to grace the pulpit. What you saying?
Hold on. I'm gonna bring somebody in. Hold on. It's not gonna be against you. Just hold on.
You need to bring. It'd be nice if you brought him in, because this could all end right now.
I don't want to talk until you are over the phone.
Oh, I'm not doing no meetups with this man. I'm not doing none of that.
Why?
I wouldn't dare sit in his face.
Why?
Because I'm not dumb, nor am I slow. That's not safe for me. He already played enough police games with me. I don't want nothing to do with this man. I will have a phone conversation and that's it.
Nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to play no police games with me. Period. And that ain't because I'm big and bad and that. Ain't nobody going to play no police games with me.
Well, I'm not trusting that regardless.
So you want me to trust if we have a phone call that you not taking?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Listen, it's not this don't even have nothing to do with going back and forth on social media. No shade. This don't have nothing to do with this.
I get you. I get that.
This don't have to be filmed. The reason why I've been filming stuff leading up to this is because it's every single time something happened, it's doing more of what they call connecting the dots for me. No shade. At first, people hated me, people didn't like me, but the more things keep going down, the more stuff keeps happening, they keep thinking in their head like, dang, why is all this stuff keep happening? Why is this going on? And the more and more it just puts the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, no shade. This man came to your church and gave you $100. What was $100 to a man that's been paying a prostitute, as you say? Well over that. You paid me over $1,200 one day when you shitted on my dick. So I'm just really confused on why you was only led to give $100.
I don't know, because that wasn't planned. I would have rather that didn't happen, but it did.
And then the thing that made a lot of the supporters look at the church differently is because he renamed the name of the seed 15 times. And that didn't come from me, that came from the live. Not only did he rename the seed, the seed that he kept telling everybody to give to you, he renamed it. First he called it a miracle seed, then he called it a God seed, then he called it
I don't care what kind of seed he called it. That's not my business, because God gonna bless me, period. So when we started off this conversation, you asked me why, and you said, people take threats lightly. I mean, people don't take threats lightly. And I'm gonna do this, I got my gun, I'm gonna do. You just said on an open conversation, you'll slap me. Did you not say that?
No, I did not say that. I said I'll slap your members, and I'll have somebody slap you. I didn't say I would slap you.
And you'll have somebody to slap me. Do you think that's a threat?
No, that's definitely not a threat. That was more of a promise to me.
Okay. So if you just made a promise you'll have somebody slap me, then what? Hold on, Jroc.
Just what? I better make threats. I'm not a threat. I make promises. Jesus, you know me, Lord. Real fast. Lord, this ain't getting nowhere. Let me wash my underarms before. Why do they smell like this? Jesus. My underarms smell like they've been sweating all night.
Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Okay. So, Jroc, you said that, and I was scared.
Oh, honey, now you know for a fact I'm not even going to accept that. You wasn't scared.
No. I didn't say I was. I said if you said that, and I'm scared, then I'm going to protect myself in any kind of way I can. You know? Like, don't. Anyway, if I said that and I'm scared, I'm going to protect myself. You have to take this thing. Nobody's, and from the beginning, I told you, I'm going to advocate for right, and I want reconciliation for both sides. Did I not say that to you?
But I think everybody.
Did I not say
you said
that?
Yes,
You said that's what you wanted as well. But that's not what you want.
But moving forward, that's definitely not what I want. I don't need to reconcile with him. We don't have no love, loyalty, or none of that towards each other. He just needs to come out and tell the truth.
Say it again, I can't hear you.
He needs to come out and tell the truth. We don't need no reconciliation. Reconciliation is be living in our truth. That's the reconciliation.
So what do you want to meet with him about?
I just want to ask him in front of somebody else. I got certain questions on my phone that I want to ask him about.
That you want to ask him about in front of me, in front of the mediator?
Yeah, I just want to ask him questions so that he won't have no reason to lie. Do you know who I am? Do you know me outside of the stuff that started last Monday? Yes, I do. Okay, were you in contact with me and did you come to my Airbnb? Yes, I did. So when you got to the Airbnb, what was the next steps? Because I heard that you left, and the text messages and the boo-boo that was on my penis say a whole different thing. That's the questions that I have to ask, just like I had the question to you that never got answered on why this man was able to grace the pulpit and me be denied entry to service.
I just told you why he was able to grace. He came, he said the Lord told him that wasn't planned. If you had not had all the threats and things that you said, you probably would have been able to come to church. But you denounced your membership. You hung up in my face. You've been very disrespectful. So that's why I don't even understand why you wanted to come. And why
But listen, my mama was sitting there listening to our conversation, and she confirmed that I did not hang up in your face. I simply told you I was going to end the conversation because I did not want to be disrespectful to you. That's not hanging up in your face.
You were already disrespectful, and then you hung up, and then you said remove my membership. You know, and I want to. My thing is with you and me. Just be honest with me, and you have not been honest.
How have I not been honest? What's the lie that I told you? Oh.
You told me you wanted resolve, and you wanted to have a conversation. What if he was there to say something about it? I don't know. I didn't know he was coming.
Y'all definitely.
I was on my way to church.
Y'all definitely knew that man. Y'all definitely knew that man was coming to that church. No shade.
Okay, when did we know? Since you know, when did we?
Y'all had the safety measures already set in place when I arrived to the church for him. That's the reason why I was not allowed entry into the church.
For him.
Listen, one of your pastors I spoke to on the phone, they already confirmed that. I have it on video footage of them, confirming.
He didn't confirm that, Jroc, because we had safety measures in place on Thursday. And nobody knew Frank Matthews was coming to our church. So that's not true.
Okay.
I know exactly what Bible told you.
Yeah,
so that's not true.
I'm sure the video is out.
We had safety measures on Thursday when all the videos start coming back and people start, we've been had safety measures. As a matter of fact, people don't know, we had plainclothes people that sit up in there every Sunday.
So how do you feel knowing that one of your members is feeling a type of way about a decision that you allowed? Because no shade, I would have been perfectly fine if he would have just been acknowledged, cool, Bishop Matthews, because even me, I haven't taken his title away from him even when I speak about him. No shade. I always call him Bishop. But on your end, you really did allow this man to grace the pulpit. You gave this man ample enough opportunity outside of anything else to grace the pulpit to give $100 and make up a whole bunch of lies about what God said.
He didn't get up to raise the offering, baby. That's not why he got up. I said it.
He did raise an offering for you. He raised a love offering, a God seed, a miracle seed, a boomerang seed.
Okay, I can't talk to you if you're going to keep talking. You're only talking. I'm trying to tell you what happened.
Okay.
He came there. He said the Lord told him to come by there. He had just left his church, I guess. And he said the Lord told him to come by there because during this whole thing, nobody had reached out to try to bring reconciliation.
That's a lie.
But me.
That's a lie.
Who else did? I don't know.
The
I
messages,
don't want to know.
if you read the messages I sent you, that lady, the first lady of Watson Grove, the old first lady, she actually was in contact with him before you were in contact with him about reconciliation because she was the third party negotiator.
Who's that?
The lady with the text messages who I got all the messages from, she was in contact with him. She's the old first lady of Watson Grove. Her husband cheated on her in a watch night service. They bashed her in front of the whole entire church.
I don't know nothing about that. You just send me them text messages.
This all, I mean, it's all over the internet. It's on every blog. It's everywhere. The messages, those the messages. But hold on, you just told me I sent you the messages though, because you said you seen the part about him and what he said about what his wife wanted to do to me. Those are the messages.
No, I saw that.
Well,
you sent that to me because I asked you about why would you say that online that you wanted her to kill herself.
Well, she ought to off herself and off her husband too.
Correct. That's what I asked you. So I don't know nothing about no first lady, no Watson Grove, or none of that. I don't know none of that. And I'm not sitting up watching social media to see what.
This is exactly what I'm saying. He should, honest to God, truth, no shade. It should have been a die down situation where they should have allowed the church, everybody should have allowed this to die down instead of allowing this man to come. As thankful as he is, as whatever he got conjuring up in his spirit and his soul, that was not a good look. It was not a good look for the church that I attend to deny entry to me, but then allow this man to say that God said this and God did that. You can't trust that man. You've been knowing that man for a few days. He gets in the pulpit and said that. It's no way possible you can trust this man and you're going to deny a 6-year-old.
While we're at that first half mark, make sure you like and subscribe and make sure you turn your notifications because I'll be uploading the other 20-minute deleted video. But this is my advice for Bishop Fred Matthews. Step down and speak up. Whether guilty or misunderstood, your silence is only making it worse. The people deserve truth, not titles. Address the allegations publicly, allow public accountability, and stop hiding behind the pulpit when the pews are demanding answers. You can't preach healing while ignoring them. And to Apostle saying, you can't lead a church and duck accountability at the same time. If someone you once stood behind now feels abandoned, reflect on why. Loyalty on the pulpit should never come before loyalty to the truth. And it is truly believe the spirituality authority, then stand tall in it, even when it's uncomfortable. And for Jroc, you started bigger than something that you know, boy, but don't lose the message chasing the moment. Protect your mental, your legal safety, and spiritual footing. The viral views are nice, but your peace is real reward. Mark and make every receipt count, and don't let the pain become performance. And to the pews and the viewers, discernment is free. Use it. Whether you believe Jroc, the bishop, or you're still pasting it together, just remember, spiritual abuse is real, and so is misinformation. Ask questions, read before the scriptures and the screenshots, and don't confuse charisma with character. And here's our closing prayer, you guys. Let's talk style. Lord, we come to you today not to judge, but to understand. Help us separate the rumor, purpose from performance, and calling from chaos. Cover the truth of those who've been hurt by the church. Correct the hands of those who've led with ego instead of love. And let everyone involved from the pulpit to the comment section seek truth, healing, and humility. In Jesus' name, not the internet's, we pray. Amen. Now, keep in mind, Jroc is covered. Keep the church accountability and keep the conversation going. Make sure you like and subscribe to Let's Talk Blog 2 for all the latest tea. And I'll see you next time, you guys, because we were Bedside Baptist. Let's talk.